Doing episode 3 of the Dark Souls walkthrough. Dark Souls 3 walkthrough. This will be episode 3. Now, I actually started this video before, but something, I don't know, PlayStation got crazy and messed up the live stream, so we're doing it again. But, yeah, so this is right after the boss fight. You kill the boss, those doors open up. Um, there's this message here that lets you know that you're supposed to place the banner down, but if you don't listen to the old lady in that chair back there, then she lets you know what you got to do is come here and raise the banner, which is what I'm doing now. So go ahead and let that load up there. Now there is a cutscene that goes there, but I had already done it before the stream cut, so that cutscene wasn't all that cool anyway. Well, you guys saw it if you're playing along, so there's the first bonfire for this new area. You go ahead and light that. And then what we're going to do is just go pick up some items. A soul item there. I don't think there's anything around this corner. No, there isn't. Yeah, I didn't think so. And then these guys aren't hostile, but there'll be some dogs that come out right here, which are hostile. So that gate thing opens up and they kind of come out. So you'll want to kind of try to take them out. It's good to do it while they're distracted with killing these little naked dudes. And now if you want it, you could run in there real fast before that closes up, but we don't want to go that way quite yet. We want to come back this way. Now I said in the first episode, if you can remember, that we wouldn't see Firelink Shrine again on camera, but I'm actually going to have to take that back, because there is something I want to show you in there that has to do with this. So we want to go over here, and all these things are dead except for this one that's moving still. So we want to talk to him, exhaust his dialogue, and he goes back to Firelink, just like that that guy in the cage from the previous stage. If you guys remember to go unlock that door, hopefully you did. Well, I'm just gonna skip through all the dialogue and stuff. Like, I've listened to it I don't know how many times. If you prefer that I play the dialogue, just let me know in the comments, whatever. I don't think it's that necessary. I mean, like I said, if you're playing along yourself, then I'm sure you're paying attention to the dialogue anyways, on your own. So if you're following along, then just, I don't know, just pause the video, I guess, and then listen to the dialogue. So here's the next bonfire, which isn't too far from the first one. That's that's kind of a complaint that long-term Souls players have with this game, is how close together the bonfires are. It doesn't really bother me, but I can kind of see where they're coming from, because in Demon's Souls, which was the first one, like, there was only one there was only one bonfire per stage. Like, it was at the very beginning of the stage. That's the only one you had. And if you died, you were going all the way back. So imagine the pain if you got to the boss room and died, or worse yet, died at the boss, and then you have to trek through the entire stage. But it was just like this one, where throughout the stages there were shortcuts you can open up, so I guess it wasn't too bad if you knew to open the shortcuts or whatever. But and then in the first Dark Souls, there were multiple bonfires in each, in each world or each area, but they were really far apart from each other. Whereas this one, they're just, I mean, it seems like they're right on top of each other, but that doesn't really ruin the game for me. Now that chopping down that body to get that item is really important. That's the item you need for that merchant that was locked up in the jail cell. If you remember to let him out and you went to talk to him when you were in Firelink, he asked you to find someone for him. Unfortunately, that someone is dead. That was her body. So you pick up an item that kind of verifies her death and give it to him. And in return, he lets you keep the ring that he gave you to give to her. I can't remember if I even actually ever used that ring that he gives you, but I think I did on my first playthrough because it was like the only ring I had anyway, but it's not really all that necessary to have it. Alright. So there we go. Now we've got all these guys here, and one thing you can do, if you have some left, is get your fire bombs. And if you throw it at... Oh, that's mine. That's this last. Yeah, here we go. If you throw it at the guy, it'll hit the, it'll hit the barrels and take a few of them out. Yeah, it makes it a little less painful. And then you can do it again to this guy. I don't even know how he survived what he did. And just kind of takes some of them out, it makes it just a bit easier on you. Get some of these guys out. And so they try to group up on you like that. And that's the last thing you want. Gotta get this guy out the way. There we go. Oh, and I got hit with the book. We want her to do that. Try to give me a hug again. Just poke at her like it's a fighting game. There we go. Tried to use my punch. Didn't work. Oh, where are these guys coming from? This kind of reminds me of Bloodborne a bit. There we go. I am all dirty. Let's go ahead and grab this. No items left behind. Okay, so then we want to come back over here. Let's go ahead and pick up this, and look, another Estus shard, which those are really important. And then now we're gonna make our way. Now, a lot of people would usually go that way, but we're gonna go this way, and it'll make sense why in a bit. But we definitely want to go this way first. Let's go ahead and deal with these guys. You want to come around this way. Isn't the way you'll normally see most people go, but having played the game before, going this way first, even though it may be just a little bit harder, because of all these annoying guys that spit blow darts at you, but it pays off in a really big way later on. Let's go ahead and take that guy out. And then there is one thing I kind of want to show you here. This actually is not an enemy. It gives you a hint. If you talk to it, it gives you a clue about how to get to a covenant. Which I'm just going to show you how to get there anyways. But just so you know, if you wind up down there and you see that thing, you don't have to kill it. It's not mean. That homeward bone, which is really, those are really important. And then we're going to drop down here. Alright. And that basket that monster is carrying, the monster is not hostile to you, but if you go up behind it, you can actually jump in that basket and it'll take you to one of the covenants. I'm actually not going to do that because I already have the covenant item, so there's no point in me joining it again, but that's how you join it. So we're just going to let it walk past us. We're going to go over here. And what we want is this thing. I'm going to try to position myself to get it down without it falling. There we go. Oh, I didn't get it. Damn it. Well, that's what we wanted. Ah, that sucks. But that could have really come in handy. So... ah, dag-nabbit. What you get is a ring. It's a, if you can position yourself to get that, hit that body without it falling down. If you don't, you don't have to go back to Firelink Shrine or back to the last bonfire or anything like that. We can still pick it up. It's just, I wanted to kind of grab it right there. But as long as you don't die or reload the stage, you know, by going back to a bonfire or resting at a bonfire or anything, then it'll still be down there for you. So it's not that big of a deal. So we'll just pick it up later. Now, you want to kind of jump off the edge there. There's a bunch of guys that throw fire at you if you try to just walk straight. So you avoid that by coming down here, and this is where the next bonfire is. Let's go ahead and light that. In case we die, we'll start here instead of at the beginning. I'm gonna drink some Estus here. Then we want to come up over here. And this way those guys can't throw grenades at us anymore. There we go. And there's our pyromancer dude. So you agree to learn pyromancy, and he will go to Firelink Shrine for us. Now we're going to come back this way. And there's an item. Well, I thought that was an item over here. I guess I'm going crazy. But you end up, the majority of people take the other path and end up coming around this way, which is the way you want to go to get to the boss, because that door there is locked going this way. So the only way you can get to it is go around that way. But there's a reason why I came this way first, even though I'm going to have to go back all the way around. I got my reasons. I got my reasons. Take that thing out. Let's go ahead and grab this soul item. And we want to take this guy out. Give us a fire clutch ring. Go. We want to kill these dudes. We want to try to avoid unnecessary fights if we can. But these fights are going to be necessary. There's no getting around that. And I don't know why they both saw me. That was ridiculous. Great, and that thing's coming back. Let's see. We gotta get across this bridge. I need more room to fight. Well, I guess now they're gonna leave me alone. Okay, here's that ring that we tried to grab earlier. Then this guy's here. You could talk to him. I'm not going to, but if you see him, give him a little chat. This is where we're going to want to go. Then there's our good buddy. You talk to him and he tells you about why that he's trying to get up, but he can't. The reason is he wasn't smart enough to do that. So I'm gonna ride this all the way up. Alright. And here's the very important thing we wanted to do, which is come here. And you'll see this guy. Now I've already, because this is New Game Plus and I've already talked to him, this is one of those things that stay from game to game. But when you talk to him, you exhaust his dialogue and it'll ask you if you'll accept his help or accept friendship, something like that. Make peace, I think it says. Well, either way, if you agree to let him help you, then he will help you, which I'm going to show you. If you don't do that, it makes this one part of this stage and other stages actually a real pain in the ass. But we're just gonna ignore that from now. We're gonna come back to it. But without doing that, there's this one part of this stage and other stages that's a real pain in the ass, and so you'll want to make sure you've got that going for you. Alright, we're gonna go down here. Since we're already here, there's a bonfire this way, and it's actually where the next area of the game is, which we're not going to go through there because we still got to kill the boss in this area, but I just want to get that bonfire. So you want to just ignore that guy and open the door. While you're in this animation, he can't hurt you, so don't worry about that. Just get past him so you can open the door. And then we're gonna light the bonfire. Now, this guy's in our way, but he can't go through the door. So what you want to do is just get yourself in a position, because he is a pain. So just want to get yourself in a position where you can get him, but he can't get you based on whatever weapons you got. I don't really have a really big weapon, so I'm just gonna kind of hit him and then back up. It's kind of cheap, but you gotta do whatever works. He's about gone. It's basically just like a smaller version of the boss you fought, the first boss. And it drops its sword when you take it out. And that thing actually does not respawn, so you've only got to kill it that once. Okay, now that that little housekeeping item is out the way, we're going to go back to doing what we were supposed to be doing. Alright, and since I didn't kill these things, they're still around. Let's go ahead and get them dealt with. That one had no health left. Alright, perfect. This ring I've got is so annoying. Let me change it out. I'm sorry. Oh, we use this. It's a better ring. I don't want. Well, it's not gonna mess with me. Gotta get these items. There we go. An item there, and I don't think there's anything over that way, so I'm not gonna aggro an enemy if I don't have to. But this is where we do want to go. There's a weapon there. There is a key to open this door, which will end up buying from a merchant in Firelink, so that's why I wanted to. When I was saying we're gonna have to look at Firelink again, even though I said we may not film it, it's because I wanted to show you a few things that I kind of didn't go over when I was giving the Firelink tour. It like completely slipped my mind, so we'll check that out. But let's first get through this. So here's a shortcut, kinda. The door doesn't open from this way. And like I said, in most cases, people come from there and go this way, but we went around the other way. Because this is another stage that's in a big circle. There's a crystal lizard there. It's kind of a pain in the ass to try to get, because it kind of notices you and starts running right away. So it'll be easier if you reload the area and then come back around the other way to get it. If you're embered, when you come here like I am, then this thing will attack you, that purple dude, which he's not really that hard. We're gonna take this guy out first though, so they can't help each other. There we go. And there he is. So we'll deal with him. Perfect. Go ahead and heal up. And I don't know if that lizard ran away. I think it did. Yeah, it's gone. But here is the other reason why I like to go around this way first, is because this area is so much easier when you come from this way than the other way. And the reason being is this right here. See, that thing, if you're coming from the other way, it'll throw its magic at you the whole time. And it's a pain in the ass because it's not like just a regular, like an arrow, like a soul arrow or anything. Like the magic, it's like this weird swarm of bees or something, and they actually follow you, and it'll just stand here and shoot them at you the whole time, like while you're trying to walk this way. And there's a bunch of enemies that you'll be trying to fight at the same time, and it's just annoying. It's much easier if you come up from behind it. And you can just kind of leisurely stroll through here. There we go. Grab that. That enemy comes down. And there's a weapon. It's a whip. The whips are like really dexterity based, so if you're building a dexterity guy, it's a pretty decent weapon. It's useless against, well, I wouldn't say useless, but it's not very effective against anything that's hard, like, you know, like something that's wearing armor. But these type of things, PvE, I should say, like single player, they're great, but if you're doing like player versus player, with isn't always all that great. If your enemy's wearing armor. If they're not though, then yeah, by all means. And there's an item we want here. Let's go ahead and get that. that charcoal pine resin we just picked up is going to come in handy later on. So you want to drop in here. There's going to be a covenant item right here. Since I've already got it, it's not going to be there anymore for me, but you want to grab that. And then there's some Estus soup there. Alright. And then that's all the backtracking we're going to do. So now we're just going to push forward. And some rubbish. That item, rubbish, is exactly what it sounds. It's utterly useless. There has been one use for it. The only use for it I have come up with personally, because I don't even think it's worth anything if you sell it either. But like if you invade someone's world to do PvP, or you get invaded, then if you throw the rubbish down as like bait, you know, to get them to go pick it up, then you'll know where they are. I guess you could use it for that. One terrible thing that it can be used for, you shouldn't do this, but it's been done to me, is like people will ask you to trade items, you know, like they'll ask you if you want to trade, and so you go to trade, and instead of giving you the item that they offered, they'll leave rubbish, because you can't see what it is until after you pick it up. So just be wary of that. And then they'll just exit real quick. It's horrible. Alright, so the reason why we wanted to talk to that giant first is because those spears, like all these spears that you see, the giant's actually shooting those down here. And if you don't talk to it and make friends with it first, it'll actually aim at you. Like, it'll aim at anything that's down here, including you. But now that I've talked to it and made friends with it, it's only going to shoot at the enemies. And the cool thing about it is, even if you're fighting with the enemies, if the spear happens to come down, it won't hurt you still. So, those things freaking hurt, man, if you get hit by them. So, it's good to just early on get that part out the way, so then you don't have to worry about having to dodge those. And now you can just casually pick up all this stuff that's down here. And I'm trying to pick up that item. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Pillage remains, there we go. And then most importantly is this here. Since he's not shooting at you anymore, it's much easier to jump across here to get this item, which is something you're going to need. Just the undead bone shard. And those are really important. And the problem is, if he's shooting at you, I mean, it is possible to get through this part with him aiming for you too. You know, you just gotta roll and dodge a lot. But when you're doing that jump, if he shoots you, like he has, his aim is amazing, and he'll hit you while you're in that mid jump, and then you'll end up falling in the bottomless hole and die. And then another thing that can happen is like even if you're not doing the jump, like if you get hit by those, you'll do this like weird slide. And then there was a right there, I picked up an armor set, and then some ashes are there. That's another really important item. That armor set is actually the preset. You know, like at the beginning of the game, that poison bite ring is really gonna come in handy. That's another thing you're gonna want. It's gonna come in handy later. But that preset is you know, it's the preset from the beginning of the game. Like all of the armor from the starting classes you actually can find, will find in the game, along with some unique ones. But because I mean, it really doesn't, like I said, it really doesn't matter what class you start out as, because you'll end up making your character whatever you want it to be. So if you pick the like if you pick the knight, for instance, and then you decided, you know what, I want to go ahead and start using miracles. And so you put points in your faith because you want to be a priest now. I mean, the outfit was right there, so you can dress your guy accordingly too. Then jumping across there gets you that great scythe, which is another dexterity based weapon. It's actually a really good one too. Alright. And here we go. Through there is the boss fight. And this way is where we came from. There. So through there's the boss fight. Same as before, I'm not going to go in there for this walkthrough. I'm just going to, let you guys tackle it, and I'll upload a separate video of the fight in case you get stuck or whatever. Then, you'll have you can just watch that fight and have a strategy of what to do. So we're going to go ahead, actually, I'm just going to go ahead and stop this area here. I'll record the boss fight, and then we'll pick it up. We'll actually pick it up on the next video in Firelink Shrine. Because normally after defeating a boss, that's where you end up anyway, so we'll pick it up there on the next one. I thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate it. You all have a good one.